T-Panda carrying on about Speed hasn't played LC since Face It League or something? It's Speed Dota, Jonathan. I mean, this guy makes guides for a living. He knows what he's doing.
He does. I mean, he's probably done Midas LC at some point, so he knows what works and what doesn't, and he knows that Midas LC shouldn't work.
I believe we do have a short video with the devil himself, Speed, so let's go have a look and see what he had to say.
Yeah, so when it comes to the starting of the match, we're particularly good at feeding first blood. We like to make sure we're at a really big disadvantage before the game starts.
What did he actually just say there?
He said they feed first blood, so they set themselves up with a disadvantage. They're really good at that, apparently. I don't know, maybe, they got first blood in the last game. They didn't give it away, so...
That wasn't in the guides, though.
Nah, it's not in the guides. Maybe he should put that in, Feed first blood for a tactical mindset advantage. Make your opponents think they're going to win, then crush them. Defeat is much more sweet when they think they're winning.
I'll tell you what, John, that's what we've been doing a lot of recently in our pub games. I don't know if it's for the right reasons, but we've been doing it. Very, very good. Thank you for that, Speed. We'll move into it, though. Game number 2, Alpha versus 5RATFORCESTAFF. Again, game 1, very rough affair. Game 2, fresh slate. I'd say the draft does look very strong from Alpha. I agree with your point. The Rubik does have a hell of a lot of good spells to steal in this game, and it's probably going to be a very good game for him. But I'd argue that the drafts do look a bit more well-rounded, a bit more even going into this game too.
Yeah, it gives a lot more play for Alpha. Again, this movement into much more team fight orientation between their off and mid lane, I think it's a big factor for Alpha. As the panel pointed out, they didn't have much play outside of Magnus last time around. There's a lot more play here. You are seeing the double stunts up top, though.
And it's a very painful affair here. Tiger and Rise is really getting at it against Speed. He just fine for now. Of course, that level 1 mark is, rather weak for the LC, but so you do get a few levels up in that moment of courage. You can kind of just, remain in the lane, sustain yourself off those creeps. Of course, have a look at the other lanes as well. Mid lane, you're going to have Salt against Kits once again. We'll see that mid Tusk coming out that was made so famous by 9 from Tundra. And of course, before 9, it was really just Hobson who was running that mid Tusk. Very, very effective. And of course, we do have our odds as well from esportsbets.io. 1.48 to 2.56. Again, 5RATFORCESTAFF, the favorites. They made game 1 look way, way easy. I hope it's a bit closer of an affair because the odds are rather close.
Yeah, and the odds aren't too far apart. And historically, 5RATFORCESTAFF, at least recently, have had a good run against Alpha, but I feel like this draft improves a lot. Again, this option for team fight, these saves they have on hand to enable Rises to do what he needs to do in the middle of these team fights, it's going to be massive. I think the one question in my mind is how early will Alpha try to play around this team fight potential? How early will they prioritize trying to run in with Dream Coiled Spear back or just Arena Egg once the levels are up? They need to kind of get that aggression out because it's the same story if you allow DNM to farm here.
Absolutely. Speaking of DNM, having a pretty good game so far, getting very aggressive here against Wish and Monster down at that bot lane. With the train, it's kind of hard to not feel confident, right? Like, there's very little chance they find a kill on the Ursa, especially with that lead seed available. And if you do try to make the jump in onto DNM, they could turn very easily. Like, the amount of damage they have between these two heroes it's pretty insane.
Now, there's a lot of output, and it's not the easiest time for Wish to kind of be effective. I mean, if they land a good spear, you can start to get things going. The tree line has been cut in a lot of good angles, so Albino Zebra, even without having that option from Nature's Guise, is still going to have a pretty decent time, not under any kill threat coming out from Monster. I think the real lane to worry about for Alpha is Rise's lane as well. Like, just having the farm that lean is going to be really key to that early timing for the right clicks to come online is kind of pivotal, because that's where a lot of your momentum will come in. Although, again, it's mainly on team fights for the mid-game, but you want your lane to kind of play while she's strong when she has at least a couple of items ready.
A lot of aggression up at this top lane. Tiger really trying to give it over to this Rubik. Speed will kind of save the day with the press the attack. You see how much damage Rises takes as well from Speed? Like, I think Thiuth was commenting on the fact that it is basically a sniper, right? This Lena hero, very low armor, and look at this, Speed, massive, massive nuke, and just chases down the Ogre of Tiger. That overwhelming odds, you can't underestimate how much damage it deals, and it looks like Speed's going for the max level build of that of the overwhelming odds this game.
Yeah, It's just really good at handling that Lina. You can stand back, get some good harassment damage onto her, and still farm. So Speed's just getting the right things done here. It's still a decent lane for Rises, but it's not exactly free farm, and Speed is keeping up well. I think you expect a little bit more aggression with that double stun, as Fear pointed out, and they have tried a couple of times. Stominen has just been really good in disrupting that. He comes in, Fade Bolt, right-click damage of Rises just drops, and suddenly you can't just Fiery Soul someone down. So it really takes away a lot from this combination from Alpha, just having that Rubik of Stominen around with that Fade Bolt.
Certainly so. You do like saying that name, don't you?
It's a good name. I always loved his name. It's like, oh, that's such a sweet name. Yeah.
I struggle to say it. It's an interesting one, Stominen. Spelled very interestingly as well, I might add. Tiger is going to move forward. They'll try to aim down the Rubik. Rise is trying to get close for a Light Strike array, but can't quite get there. And, well, Tiger's got another Fire Blast very soon, but you are giving up a lot of time for this. And no stun. He's run out of mana.
Oh, boy.
Oh, no.
Oh, Tiger?
Oh, now Tiger's in trouble. He hasn't got a Fade Bolt. He's all right.
He's going to have it soon.
5 seconds. Stominen, how far do you want to go? Oh, he's dropped
boy.
the ward. He wants it. Oh, he's out of vision. He's out of vision. Stominen almost making a very, very nice play. I mean, it is still a great play, though, at the end of the day. Like, you drag Rises out of the lane like that. He would have missed quite a few creeps there, and that's just not great news.
That solo EXP for Speed allows him to ramp up into that 5 and 6. And Rises is still here without mana.
Yeah, he is. He might be in big trouble because you've got the lift available here from Stominen. Speed, he'll say thank you very much. Rises, I mean, he's going to try to run. Light Strike Array does land, but Speed's got so much movement speed, and now with the nuke, not quite enough. The raindrops are there, but it's not going to matter. Oh, boy. Well, this is turning into a disastrous lane already up at top lane. I mean, it's a strong duo of Ogolina, but they have not managed to make it work, and at this rate, with the level Speed's got, he's already level 5. That's very problematic.
Yeah, they're going to be able to play off the early duels, and you have some pretty nice targets to go for if you can isolate them. Heck, even jumping Ogre Magi at, say, level 4 or 5, still pretty manageable for Speed, as long as Stominen's around to help him. I think the other issues for Alpha is that, again, that early teamfight timing we were talking about, it feels like it's got to come online. Sol's had a pretty good lane up against Kits. You know, he's slightly ahead. He's been managing a lot better in this game. And I think that's where you have to look. When does Sol want to turn out? When does he kind of want to play with that first Dream Coil? Who are they going to try to pin down? I think a rotation down bot is still probably your best bet. Dream Coil break with Spear. And you can just sort of focus down on DNM or even Albino Zebra. Although speaking of...
Yep. Jump in. DNM not going to be able to get too much damage off, but does force the Icarus dive out from Wish. Meanwhile, Kits rotating up towards the top lane now. Let's have the snowball to initiate. Speed a few creeps away from the jaw. He'd really like it right now. He's trying to farm it up in time, and now he's got it. He's hit level 6. He's going to get the bonus damage. Perfect timing. Speed's the same level as Kits, basically. Kits just leveled up to level 7 off the back of that kill. But that just goes to show you how badly this top lane's gone. As now Stominen, he's found Rises who stuck around. 3 heroes team being top. I don't know about this. Oh, I don't know about this, Rises. He's gone. Sol's rotated. He's got Dream Coil, but there's no backup.
No, this is not the lane you want to be in for that coil. Yeah, the ideal is probably your combination with Monster, but someone had to respond. The awkward thing about that fight, Mike, is they had some slight vision there.
Oh.
They saw the Tusk come in. They have the Sentry Knobs, and they still played a little bit more for it. They're right by the tower. You feel safe, but not safe enough.
No, certainly not. Very rough start here for Alpha. Kits, he's going to move in onto Tiger. Power Rune is going to spawn up. It's a double damage as well. Happy days. He'll just back off with it. He won't pop it. No need to rush for an Ogre kill. Rather save that later on down the line. Maybe find that laner again. Maybe even the puck. I suppose the only saving grace right now for the side of Alpha is the fact that Monster's having a pretty nice lane down at bot lane. So Yamaz is having a very good time. And, well, to be absolutely fair, so is the puck. At least in terms of farm. In terms of impact, though, neither hero's had too much so far. Top lane, however, Speed, he'll go for a bit of a run. Press the attack, purges off the Ignite. They'll still try to slow him down with the Icarus dive, but they can't lock him down. They could not get in range for the Fire Blast, and the speed, he's just having his way up at this top lane.
And look at this smoke coming out from 5RATFORCESTAFF immediately as well.
I mean, why not? Kids, he knows.
Oh, Rises.
Snowball,
No.
yeah, they found the big one. Rises, he cops the double damage Walrus Punch. Speed's still got the duel up. He'll commit it onto Tiger. I don't think they'll have the damage to secure the kill on with this duel, but it won't really matter too much. Though Soul, he does move in. He wants to try and trade something here, and he might just find the LC Speed. He does drop, but Kids is still going. In comes Monster. With the arena down, they do trade nicely. 2 core kills. Exactly what Alpha needed. It does cost them a 5-hero rotation up at this top lane, but they needed to get something done.
You're pretty happy if you're Alpha. Like, these 2 heroes on the Puck and the Mars really need to get that team fight going, and that does work out. Like, your Lina can just flash farm back into the game. They switch Rises down bot to farm. You're not quite safe though, Wish.
Oh, Speed. No duel available yet. Is he gonna wait? He looked like he was about to. Summon, and he's not having any of it.
Yeah, just worried about that Icarus dive. It's like, nah, just get the kill. I mean, he's been building up. He's been finding a lot for those kills in Rubik as well.
Here we go, Albino Zebra now getting caught out mid lane. So another nice pick off here for the side of Alpha, I believe. Will drop. Stominant is going to rotate along with Kids, but they won't have enough to really try and force the attack onto Sol. So 6-4 now, very slight net worth lead to the way of 5RATFORCESTAFF. Happy days again for the Radiant so far. Alpha, definitely not too far behind yet. Again, Sol's had a good game in terms of farm. So has Monster. It's all about impact now and see how they can make it work. They've got to buy so much time for Rise's Lina, who's fallen very far behind in net worth.
Yeah. I mean, it's a lot safer to lane up against DNM. There's no direct threat from the Ursa until maybe you get a rotation out from your Tusk at this point. With a snowball, but beyond that, you're pretty safe farming. Issue is, you also don't stop DNM from farming. His Battle of Fury's almost going to be done. His farming pace kicks up. His output in the middle of these clumped up fights just skyrockets off the back of that. And again, it's just another worry point for the side of Alpha. The moment they have their Dream Coil and their Arena ready, along with Egg, I feel like you just smoke and look for something. You force something out, but look at the vision from 5RATFORCESTAFF. Just a lot of good defensive wards, watching the Riverside, and it just makes it tough for Alpha to get any sort of movement out to try to find these pickoffs.
Bot lane might be where all the action breaks out now. I mean, you've got 3 coming down here from Alpha. And maybe work on towards that tier 1 tower. They could try to make the move onto DNM, but it's got the in-range available, so it's not going to be too easy. Meanwhile, top lane, Monster may get caught out. Kids is there. They've got the lift up. He's way too far forward, and that's going to be an easy duel. No problems here for the side of 5RAT. They'll find something for their trouble. And that top tier 1 tower probably going to get focused down now. In comparison, down at bot lane, the tier 1 tower has not been touched, and DNM is still freely farming. They have not tried to make the jump in.
They just can't. You don't have that same initiation coming out from Alpha unless Soul is around or until a Monster has a blink. So you just don't have that gap close that 5RAT has with the snowball coming through, with the lift up from Stominant, and it just makes it really awkward. You run up to an Ursa, he can just kind of pounce away.
Here we go. They're going to see him. Can they deal with him though? It's 2 supports here against the Ursa. Wish is obviously going to Icarus dive right back to where he was. And DNM just doesn't seem bothered. Right back to farming. Very close to the Battle Fury timing now.
Yeah, just runs away, wastes some time.
Bot tier 1 tower going down. Of course, there's our betting partners, esportsbet.io. I already brought up the odds earlier on, Jonathan. Of course, it was 5RAT that were the favorites going into this matchup. Very close odds between these two, but, you know.
Yeah, it's close, but I feel like Alpha just has to work a little bit harder to really close up those odds right now. It still feels like 5RATFORCESTAFF are working this map a lot better. They work their lanes really damn well. And I think that's just the one difference. 5RATFORCESTAFF knows their power spikes. They group up around it. They've been playing off speed. They've been playing off kits really well. Whereas for Alpha, I mean, you've seen 1 Arena, 1 Dream Coil, no Egg yet. And these are the big spells that set up your game here. That's your tempo setting. That's your win, not really win condition, but more like your snowball condition. To use the spells to get these big team fights, and they're just not able to clump up around it. And Maybe this blink out from Monster fixes that issue, but it feels like by then you're gonna have a couple of answers out from 5RATFORCESTAFF.
That you will. Top of the net worth board right now, DNM, followed by Speed. Speed opting to go for the Blade Mail first. Has got enough gold just barely to get the blink. I think very, very close now, just a few hundred gold away. Alpha, they're going to try and pressure the mid-tier 1 tower. Albino Zebra will chip away at him. Soul's there with a double damage. Egg dropped very, very early on. They're going to focus down that egg immediately. Arena is down, but the Speed has not landed on the Tustle Widge. He does get the egg off, but where's the follow-up to it? It doesn't seem like they have it right now. Kids will keep moving in. Soul will back off, but they find nothing. I mean, it's a rushed egg. That's a very rushed egg. You pop all your spells, you pop the egg, and then what?
It just didn't quite line up. I mean, I was just mentioning they needed the team fight. They did use all their spells, but they're probably not in the right heroes or just not in the right order. They just couldn't get the burst damage off, and it's starting to feel like maybe you need Rises around, but Rises?
Oh, no. Not Rises. Is that Speed coming in? No, it's going to be Albino Zebra. It won't matter. Rises is still in massive trouble. He tries to fight back, but he's gone.
He gave away the Laguna as well.
Well, you got to try, I suppose. It's a low cooldown. Stominant at least does end up dying.
Yeah, at the least you take the Rubik out immediately. Would have been hilarious if the rest of the team came up, because that would have been a burst kill onto Soul.
Hits. I mean, that's a big pick off if they can find it. They will not. He will be able to run away. So they're fine with that. 1 for 1. Of course, you don't want to lose that Pulse 1 leaner, but it does happen. Instead, Alpha, they're going to try and focus down that bottom tier 1 tower. And, well, to be fair, at this stage, they should be able to find it. Nobody's going to be there to defend. It's like 5RAT will let it go down. Just a cheeky glyph before they do, naturally.
Gives time for the Roshan here for DNM with that Battle Fury up. And it's just gonna go for free. That's one thing when you know all your enemies are pushing bot. You've got the all clear for Roche, no vision to even defend that area. And DNM, 16-minute Aegis is kind of expect from an Ursa. He's just kind of set to go. Like, you have everything you need here on 5RATFORCESTAFF. Alpha, again, they still have this really good team fight. It's just down to execution here, Mike.
Alpha, they're going to try. They've got the arena, they've got the egg combination. They've got to line it up perfectly. And yeah, they were spotted with that smoke. Broken already. This is very rushed. Fonse's jumped in. He's missed the spear. Oh no. Alpha, they are surrounded. Monster, well, he's going to find Stominant, but that's not going to be good enough. Soul, he'll orb away. Kids, he's got a haste rune.
Speed.
And Speed gets in.
Oh man, his target priority in that fight, Mike. Going for the Phoenix in the back as the arena came out. I mean, he just knew what was going to happen. They had a vision, they jump in, and they remove the egg from the equation. You had Dream Coil, you had Arena, no egg, it just falls flat. You need that damage. You need that area denial from the egg. And Alpha, I appreciate now they're trying, and it just feels like at this point, it's just back to that moment where you've got answers on 5RATFORCESTAFF.
I mean, look, you're looking at the replay right now. One of the comments I like to make here, John, and I'm not trying to be too critical, but Monster's got to land these spears in the arena, right? Like, the last two arenas we've seen, the spear's not landed on anyone. That's problematic.
Yeah, it's rough. To be fair, in the first arena, he speared, I believe it was DNM outside the arena. You know,
yeah,
that weird
you
bug,
get
but
my point, John.
It's not amazing.
Yeah.
It's rough. I don't fault Monster. I think it's just really 5RATFORCESTAFF playing on point. Like, their reaction time is near instantaneous. They know which heroes to target. They know how to position themselves to make it really awkward to force these team fights, which is where Alpha should be shining. And they've just got control. I mean, you've got the blink up on DNM, so he can jump the backline and deal with Rises if need be. And for Alpha, I mean, you're still farming up here on Rises. He's working onto that BKB. The lean is going to feel a lot better once that is up. And they do have all their spells up, so they're going to try to smoke again.
They've got to try something. I mean, this game's getting out of control, Alpha. They've got to be able to land these combinations. See if they can get it this time around. You pointed it out last team fight, but Speed was very good with his duel onto the Phoenix. DNM is showing, but look at them. They're all in the tree line towards the north. They're not showing anybody. DNM's the only one on the map right now. It could be massive bait. DNM, he'll just jump in by himself. Who are they going to commit on? Their speed. He'll make the jump in, but he's not got the Phoenix. Now the arena with the spear is out. Maybe they can take them down, and they do. Speed is gone, but so is Widge and so is Tiger. There's your overgrowth as well. They'll find a puck for their trouble. Spear. Oh, that's perfect. Oh, Stominanen. That is perfect.
I mean, this guy has just been on point. Stominan's been a beast in game 1 with the Sky, insane with his Rubik here. And Alpha, you mentioned they need to try something. It's just tough when you're this far behind. I know what to say, like the initiation is looking all right, but the damage just isn't there to follow through. The egg was protected this time, but the Ursa was allowed to hit it. It's just not lining up the way it should be. And if it doesn't line up perfectly with this kind of lineup Alpha has, 5RATFORCESTAFF will just punish. You've got the Desolator up on kits. Everyone just melts now.
Absolutely. Bot lane makes more jumps. Well, they got Stominanen this time. So at least they do find a Rubik for their trouble here, Alpha. But they're probably going to lose another support for their trouble as well. Tiger. He'll be the sacrificial lamb here. Jewel as well. Got to get that damage.
Yep. Get the damage out, and Kits does get the kill in the end, so he gets the gold as well, and his Desolator chart. A little bit more damage coming out there. Alpha, 15-8. It's really not too bad. Their high ground defense can be really good. They've got really good ways of playing around with this team fight potential. As long as Rises kind of hits this point where the lane is just really hard to reach, say maybe a Dragonlance Hurricane Pike coming out, I think you're still comfy on Alpha. It's not an easy game, but it's not a dead game. You know, there's still an opportunity. It's just that with the way 5RATFORCESTAFF is playing, it's not an easy opportunity to find, Mike.
No, it's not. I mean, you got to give credit to 5RAT. They're doing a fantastic job here in Alpha. They're trying their absolute best to make something work, but all their plans just continue to be foiled here by 5RAT, and we'll see what else they can get done here, Alpha. They're grouped up once again, maybe forcing another smoke here, and they will. Towards that western side of the map. They know where the side of 5RAT are, or at least DNM is. They'll head over. You're looking for that perfect initiation here from Monster.
Oh no, the timing.
Albino, he does break the smoke. Very nice positioning from our Trine, and they just can't deal with him. In goes DNM once again. He's just so confident, but maybe this time he could have gone too fast. Will press the attack. It's going to save the day. A nice arena locks them down. DNM though, he'll man up. He'll try to fight.
What?
He'll find one. He might find another, but no. He does drop. Rise is finally getting some revenge. Finally punishing the side of 5RAT. They'll just keep going. Speed. Hold on a minute, Speed. Can he man up here? He's going to try. Meanwhile, towards the south, they found Kits. It's another great target here for the side of Alpha. In fact, make that 4. Speed is the only survivor. Alpha finally finding a team fight that goes their way.
It looked rough. The timing of that was just really awkward. Obs was dropped by Albino Zebra right as the smoke broke. Speed is still here.
Speed.
No?
He's got the jewel. He's waiting for him to get out of the fog. He'll see him eventually, but he won't go for it.
He must have thought that the rest of the team was still kind of around. Plays it safe. Doesn't want to feed away dual wins. But Alpha, again, they do have that power to take these fights. As long as the initiation lines up, as long as they isolate the right heroes, they managed to find DNM without him having a BKB yet. Sure, he was saved by one press the attack. There's still a lot more stuns that can come out. There's still a lot of damage that comes through. And 5RATFORCESTAFF kind of overplayed her hand. They didn't quite have Kits around to be that disruptive early on in that fight. And that's what Alpha needs to do. Just keep trying to get these angles out, catch out, isolate DNM, hype him around, as he is still susceptible to that until the BKB's up. And just leverage this really big damage coming out from Rises now.
5-man smoke. 5RAT, they want to try and get revenge after that last engagement. Net worth down to 2k advantage their way. Massive strides being made by Alpha. Let's hope they can keep that distance that they just made. Alpha going to move on to the high ground. It seems like they've got a good idea that the smoke is happening right now. Especially considering that bot lane has been forced in so deep and nobody's there to defend. I say that Alpha, they are grouping up. Oh, Speed. Does reveal himself there for a moment. Alpha going to move on to the high ground very confidently, and it seems like 5RAT are the ones that want to back off now. And they will. No fight to break out yet. So both sides are still kind of waiting around, seeing who engages first. But neither one finds the target they really want to make the jump on. That'll be it. Now a counter smoke, Alpha. Four-man smoke up behind Rises.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
They're going to try and pressure that mid tier 1 tower. Try and force the defense out from 5RAT, and well, there's the glyph out. Are they going to rotate and fight though? They know that everyone's smoked behind Rises right now, and it seems like they're thinking about just letting this tier 1 mid tower go down. In come the rotations. Stominant is around. Tier 1 tower is dropping very, very low, but they aren't going to defend. Rises takes it for free. Instead, they will push out the top tier 2 tower, and Speed. Oh, Speed! Gets caught underneath that observer ward and just drops all by himself. Suddenly Alpha, once again, finding more punishment.
Yeah, I mean, no one expects that forward of a ward while the tier 1 stands. Really great vision coming out from Alpha. And they managed to get some really big punishment. It felt like the smoke might have been a bit wasted, but getting that vision out, finding that big kill, does open up a lot of possibilities. Mind you, losing a tier 2 top isn't the best thing in the world either. So you've always got this one lane to kind of worry about being shoved in. But you are climbing back into the game. They did have to use all their big teamfight spells. So there is an opportunity here for 5RAT, and knowing that the team fight's down, back to road for DNM.
Absolutely. It'll be the shards up as well this time around, so DNM probably takes that for himself. Hasn't got one quite available yet. There it is. Shards, Aegis all up on the Ursa. Still a 3k advantage sitting their way, and DNM is pretty much holding that whole advantage on his hero. So they can get done. He's got the blink, he's got the basher.
Radiant's bottom tower is under
They're
attack.
trying to force out that bot lane. Get some heroes to show on the map. Force a defense here. It's like top lane Wish may have been spotted out on that Phoenix, but doesn't seem like they're going to be able to find him in that tree line.
You do have multiple BKBs up now. At least Speed has his. And you've also got DNM with his. So you're a lot more protected in these team fights. I think just taking away the threat of Arena and Dream Coil allows you to focus in on the egg without worrying about fire spirits. You can do a lot more now on 5RATFORCESTAFF to counteract that team fight. So it's down to Alpha to, again, work these angles, try to catch them out before the BKBs can fly on. I think that pressure is really on Monster to nail that Arena Spear and just ensure that at least one of these heroes will be pinned down.
Rises, be careful, sir. It's not safe. 5RAT, they're moving in. DNM, he's going to try and force a bait. Oh, there it is. They make the jump in. No hesitation. Easy kill onto that Lina. And again, they pointed this out on the panel. I believe it was Spear in particular. In fact, hold that thought, because they even found Tiger. But they did say, if you can make the jump in on the Lina, if you close the gap, it's basically just like a sniper. She's not very tanky.
Yeah, and in a way, arguably, she can be a bit worse. She doesn't have any mobility on hand outside of the move speed she gets from Fiery Soul. At least Sniper has a concussive grenade. You know, so there is that. Big kill to find on 5RAT. Again, just having all of these options to jump in, the Blink Snowball, the Blink Punch, the Blink Duel, makes it really easy to deal with that Lina despite having that BKB. And, you know, DNM can just focus on his own thing. Going for the Satanic next. 2 tier 2 towers down for Alpha. Some really good forward wards here from 5RATFORCESTAFF. And for Alpha, Rises is already pretty damn big. Once the Shadow Blade is up, I guess you feel a little bit better. Maybe the Silver Edge helps out the cause as well. That could be the turning point. It does feel like you need protection from these single target spells. You need a way to just dispel it off. Maybe a Linken's here wouldn't be too bad.
Here we go. 4-man smoke, DNM. He's right around the corner. He does have Aegis. They're going to wrap around instead. DNM shows top lane now. Instead, towards the south. Who are they jumping on? They'll spot out DNM, and there we go. They'll make the jump in onto the Ursa, but he's got the enrage off in time. Keep in mind, he does have 2 lives available, so it's not going to be too easy of a fight. And now Speed, he makes the jump in. He found the Lina. Rises is gone immediately. Still, the egg does pop, but do you have the follow-up damage? It doesn't feel like it. DNM's getting right to work. Monster trapped in the ice shards. He'll rush right around, but it's not going to matter. He'll get bashed up by DNM. Another successful team fight to go their way. It's that Lena. You get jeweled up. She's a glass cannon.
She has to stand so close in these fights as well. It just doesn't feel like she's able to stand as far back as you'd want to. Like, she's right in the middle of that pack. She was right next to the egg when it went off. You really want to be further back, but without something like the Shadow Blade, without your Dragonlance Hurricane Pike, which isn't usually a highest priority on the Lena, it's tough. It's tough when you don't have any of those tools to get out, and really no one can save you. You don't really have Force Staffs on your team either right now to kind of get that done. And you're just such a jumpable target. Like, as you mentioned, the egg goes off, but does it really matter when it's a fresh BKB that pops on DNM and he still has spell immunity after that stun? Not really.
Oh, they're going to try and at least pick off a Rubik here, but DNM jumps in. Oh, boy. Yeah, you know, generally speaking, you don't want to trade your mid laner for a support like that, and, well, sadly, it does happen. And now, well, mid lane, guess who they've got, John? It's going to be Rises. Kids at least does drop, so they do trade something, but DNM, he is angry.
Boy.
He'll just jump right into tier 3 tower. He could not give a crap.
No.
He doesn't care.
A half a minute and that Aegis just wants to get that used. He's going to have his Satanic up really soon as well. Another form of Dispel on top of that Dispel from the Earthshock, from the Enrage. It's really annoying to kind of deal with DNM now once that Satanic's up. And for Alpha, maybe it just goes back to high ground defense, you know? Just play around your team fights on... It keeps pointing out how much damage that Sunray does. That Sunray is just so damn strong, percent-based damage. So much, like 1.4 KPs.
It's a lot of damage. Hasn't made the difference, but it's a lot of damage, that's for sure.
But yeah, it does feel like for Alpha, your best bet now is sort of high ground defense fights. You don't have control outside the map. Maybe you can get a good smoke angle out and punish 5RATFORCESTAFF once more. It's just a lot harder to do that. So we'll see what the play is. 5RAT, Aegis is gone. Satanic's fully up on DNM. They've got the whole map under their control. They have a million sentries all over the place just to watch for obs. The one obs Alpha has outside their base is less than useful right now. Hanging around that medium camp down bot, not giving them as much info as they'd want. Shadow Blade up on speed now as well. Way easy to jump the backline and wish.
Gonna get caught, speed.
Oh.
Hey, whoopsie. Come right back to me. And they get the win as well, just in the nick of time. 188 is the dual damage so far for speed, is what I meant to say. Keep in mind, he's got the Shadow Blade as well, so it's quite easy for him to just maneuver and find the target he wants now throughout these engagements. It's just very challenging to try and avoid the duel when speed does want you to fight.
Oh yeah. That was his Shadow Blade reveal in that movement as well. Smoke out now from 5RATFORCESTAFF. And look at DNM, just so far forward by himself. Yeah. Doesn't care.
No,
BKB.
Absolutely not. Overgrowth is there. DNM, he'll make the jump in, gets the bashes, the shards are on point, and Rises is gone. And he'll rise again, but he'll probably fall again as well. That's kind of the problem. The DNM, he'll keep going after these tier 3 towers. At least they do have the Bloodlust to make it a little bit harder for DNM to get to work. And it seems like that's going to be enough for 5RAT. Again, no need to rush the game. They can wait for the next Roshan. They can go after that final tier 2 tower. There's even a double damage rune just sitting there waiting for them to pick up right now. And Alpha, they're the ones that need to try and find a solution to this game too.
Yeah, again, it does feel like high ground starting to be the call. And it's just so rough to watch Lena. You pop the BKB, there's so much spell pierce on 5RATFORCESTAFF, Overgrowth, and Duel, just doesn't care. So, you don't have that many options. They're grouping up in the tier 2 though.
Here we go again. Thiuth dropping fast, there's the jump in, there's the duel out, they've got Tiger, they've got the damage as well. Uppercut from Kids, that'll do the job. Final T2 tower is gone now, and the double damage rune is still sitting there for them to collect, so whenever they're ready, they might even get lucky with an early Roshan timer.
Yeah, it's going to be massive. Issue is, you don't really have the vision here from 5RAT. It's Alpha that knows that it's up. So They know there's a DD, they can't really go for it. And 5RAT should spot it with speed at least. It should make some easy duels, but now going to pass it on. They have about 20 seconds to pick it up. Just enough time. Speed has 226 duel damage.
Yes, he does.
Very nice. From 188, very auspicious into just really high numbers. I know what you can do on Alpha. Maybe they already have that Lincoln's on Soul. At least that's one spell block on hand. I feel like you're going to need a Dispel to take off the Entangle.
Well, here we go. They're going to 5-man smoke. I suppose this is the only thing they can really do right now. TNM on the high ground. Does not break the smoke. Alpha still able to run through the mid lane and try to find an easier target to aim down. Maybe Kids. Oh, that's a great blink out from Kids. What reaction timing, and now the lift up as well. Oh, they foiled the plans once again of Alpha. They still dream call, they'll still try to fight. This is not the fight to take. Rises, he tries to TP out with the BKB, but they pierce once again.
Yeah, it's not an easy game.
No.
There's a lot of ways to deal with that spell immunity. There's a lot of ways to even just pop the Lincolns as well, which we did see Soul at least leave behind on Rises. And that was just such a quick play. The reaction times on 5RATFORCESTAFF is just insane.
Oh boy, it's a tough one. The blink was just wait. That's emotional damage right there from Kids. I mean, he's just yeah, that was quick.
Oh yeah, they've reacted so well. Kids with a blink, Speed with jumping backline in that early game fight. They've just been really dancing around here. Swift blink up now on DNM. This Ursa's just at its peak now. Maybe just finish up with the full Abyssal Blade afterwards. High ground is, again, the last refuge for Alpha. At the least, their racks haven't fallen. But, I don't know, like, you've tried to smoke. They've had the right idea. They've been jumping in. But it's just falling flat. Maybe a Hex out on Soul, actually, just to get that instant control to follow through with the Spear. Maybe that's the play. But Roche is open again. Third Roche of the game. Goes the way of 5RATFORCESTAFF. Pretty much with a free Ag's Blessing as well.
I love how you said he should just buy a Hex. Like he's just gonna find 6k gold falling from the sky at this point.
Yeah, just find it somewhere.
Yeah,
I suppose. I mean, that's all you can really hope for. You can at least split push pretty well with your Puck and with your Lina with Travels up. So they can kind of try to stall, but you have the Ags given away. I think this is free Ags out for Kids. He's got the kickback. It's football time.
Oh, you love to see it. We'll see how this one goes.
Why does it pierce spell immunity as well? Like he has two
because
spell
he's
immunity piercing single
What's not a spell, John? He's kicking you.
I suppose. It's just insane. Like 2 BKB piercing single target spells. If you think about it that way, it's actually really busted.
It reminds me of a time when I first was introduced to Dota. I asked a friend why Beastmaster could roll through BKB. And he said to me, dude, he's literally screaming at you. That was his explanation. He's screaming at you. What's the problem? BKB doesn't cover your ears. These aren't earplugs. Terrible.
It's not a spell. He's just yelling.
Speed. There's a jump in. Found the Phoenix. No egg for you. Arena is down. But they got DNM. He's way too tanky. I mean, he's got that secondary life anyway. Snowball will save for now. He won't even pop the secondary life. DNM's fine. Walked right out. Heals are there. He's basically reset. Cheese up. Why the hell not? Time to go back in.
Just do it again. If you kill that Phoenix, team fight for Alpha Fault Splat. Wish hanging on the right side being safe, but it looks like 5RATFORCESTAFF. Yeah, there we go.
Here we go. Snowball in. Bash right through the BKB and he is gone. Egg is committed. Guess what, John? They can focus the egg. Nothing like scrambled eggs in the morning here for 5RATFORCESTAFF. They do back off. They'll accept the buybacks being committed, or maybe not. Maybe they could keep going back in onto the Ogre if they really want to. They've still got 2 lives on DNM. Hell, they've got 3 lives if you count the Satanic.
Yeah, he's gone low.
Yep, jump in. There's your Mars gone. Bye-bye, monster.
Yeah, it's, well, at least Rises hasn't died back yet, so that's one blessing.
Certainly is. I mean, DNM, he's out of control. He's 30k net worth.
You can't stop.
He's double the puck.
Oh,
Jump in. Tiger, he's gone. Now we have the answer. What wins, a bear or a tiger? Into the Kalina, they'll find another. Rises is gone. That's it. They've had enough. GG is called. What can you do? It happens. A very rough game, a very rough series here for the side of Alpha. And they tried their absolute best, John, but 5RATFORCESTAFF just proving to be the better team going into this matchup today. It was still a great series here from Alpha. Obviously, a few...